Hello. The other day I had a brother in the McCoy showroom looking at all the Masonic books we published and sell. He looked overwhelmed and I asked him if he needed some help, and he said, yeah, with all these choices, I just need to know where to start. And so we talked back and forth, and I understood what jurisdiction he was from and how long he'd been in Mason, etc. And I was able to recommend a few books. But this got me to thinking that many Master Masons might need a quote-unquote on-ramp to the many choices of books published on Freemasonry. Today, I'm focusing just on McCoy published books that are our bestsellers, and some have been our bestsellers for over 100 years. I certainly understand you might believe I've left out your favorite Masonic book, and hopefully there will be time for that in the future, but for now, here are 5 books that I recommend to all Master Masons. The first is The Builders by Joseph Fort Newton. This particular edition was published specifically for McCoy, and it includes Newton's final updates. This book actually has been given to all newly raised Masons by some Grand Lodges. It's a classic in Masonic literature. It's broken into 3 parts. The first part covers the early history of Freemasonry, its traditions, mythology, and symbolisms. The second is a story of the order of builders through the centuries from the building of King Solomon's temple. And the final part, entitled Interpretation, is a statement and exposition of the faith of Freemasonry. The next book is Freemasonry, Its Hidden Meaning by George Steinmetz. This spiritual interpretation of the esoteric work of the Masonic Lodge systematically analyzes the lectures and symbols of the first 3 degrees so that the reader can really understand them. The goal of the author is to give the reader an understanding of what Freemasonry teaches it and translate that into your life in a workable, lively, and satisfying way. I know that the brothers in the middle chamber in North Carolina really love this book, as do I. But Steinmetz does a nice job with this, and it's a good esoteric book without getting too heavy and too fast, but there's a lot there. The next book is The Black Square and Compass, 200 Years of Prince Hall Freemasonry by Joseph Walks. Look, Walks was a man before his time. This book is more relevant today than when he wrote it in 1979. All Freemasons can get something from Walks because it's a highly researched and well-documented study of Prince Hall Freemasonry. But more than that, we are all brothers, and this book helps shine a light on our similarities as opposed to our differences. This book, again, if you spend any time with it, you'll understand how well he does it. The research pieces, he goes back and studies it, and he has documentation, and it's just a really well done thing. He is a highly respected Freemason. And in fact, I was told by a brother the other day that he was raised in Maryland, and I thought he was a Kansas Freemason. But anyway, this is just a great book for all Masons. The next book is another classic, The Great Teachings of Masonry by H.L. Haywood. Haywood, and this is going to be wordy, but stay with me. Haywood believes that a Mason must think Masonry out for himself. It requires that one can see it in its own large perspectives, that one knows the main outlines of its history, that one knows what it actually is and what it is doing, and that one knows that it has to be understood by its own authentic interpreters and prophets. Now look, that's not easy to do, but this book, The Great Teachings of Freemasonry by Haywood, really help you kind of go through all of this. I mean, this, you can see from the table of contents that, what's it all about? Why is Masonry employs ritual and symbolism? The meaning of initiation and secrecy, the Masonic theory of the good life. We meet upon all of these items let you sit down and go, okay, I've been through the ritual. What does it mean? How do I apply it? And Haywood has done a wonderful job. And I like this book too. And of course, the final book is probably McCoy's best seller, and it is Alan Roberts' The Craft and Its Symbols. And when Roberts was asked, why would you write another book about symbolism and Freemasonry, he said, look, symbolism is the lifeblood of the craft. It's what Freemasonry distinguishes from other fraternal organizations. It is the principal vehicle by which ritual teaches Masonic philosophy and moral lessons. So he felt that there needed to be a book that was written in a straightforward way that avoids the esoteric rabbit holes that you often get with symbolism in books on symbolism and Freemasonry. And this is to help Master Masons understand and use symbols of Freemasonry to be better men every day. So there you have it. These are the 5 books, and you can see them and many more at McCoy.com. That's MOCY.com. Thank you.